Hello everyone and welcome to another video for EvCO Online. Today I'm going to be going more in depth about how my UI works. So basically, instead of standard HP, mana, and stamina bars, you have this sort of more uh, interactive setup over here to the right. These are your stamina motes, these are mana motes, and you'll occasionally see little blood motes that come down, and they also fall from your HP bar when you take damage. I've recently done videos about prayer, so I'm not going to get into the prayer icon. I don't currently have one here anyway, because you have to go to an altar to get one of those. So I'm just going to do everything else. I've also done a video about the core icon here, but just to give you a quick refresher, if you get enough XP, you will level up, you'll get 6 skill points, and then you can distribute those across body, mind, and soul. The first one you pick gets 3, followed by 2 and 1, so that you can distribute your skill points uh, according to how you want your build to be. Don't pay too much attention to that at the moment. As I said, I've done a whole video on that already. I encourage you to check that out if you haven't already. Now, when you click on some of these icons, this is the inventory over here, by the way. It's relatively small because I don't like video games that have a ton of inventory management. It's, like often my least favorite thing about a game is learning a whole bunch of new items and managing a big inventory. So I specifically wanted to make my game around having a small inventory and not having any great need for items. For example, there's wrong button. Here we go. This is robes. It's not like 5 different pieces or 8 different pieces of different robe sets. There are just single armor items. What just happened? Did I just kill the robe? No, that's a bug for tomorrow. I can pick this up, and if I click on my equipment icon here, oh, I'm equipping it. Oh, okay. So I was equipping them. All right. So I can drop this, and only the armor icon changes. The weapon icon doesn't. But this will show you the type. Again, this is not currently. This is like pre-alpha, so you have to forgive me. But this will show like a sword. Element is not going to be here. That's going to be represented by like a little orb in the middle that will show how many, or show the element of your weapon if it has an element. And then cracks will show you how likely it is to break soon. And then it's a bit random. And then sharpness will show you how much extra damage your weapon will do if it can be sharpened. The warhammers, for example, cannot be sharpened. Swords and spears can be. Whips cannot be. And so certain weapons you have to manage sharpness, but they'll do extra damage. They can also become dull. So if that's the case, they'll do a little bit less. I've done a whole video about tools, so I won't go too much into that, but you basically have, see, this is your gold pouch. You can basically rotate between your mana potions, your tool belt, and your quiver, which has things like knives and bombs. If you have any of this text up, which, keep in mind too, the color, the font, the size of this text could all change. I know it looks a bit obnoxious right now, but you can get rid of all these extra icons if you want to just pay attention to how many potions you have. Then you can do that, and that way it's something that you can keep track of without having your whole screen cluttered up. Now, this is your knowledge bar. I've talked about that, I think, a couple of times. So getting on to your heart icon here and your stamina icon, you'll notice that if you click on the heart, it will bring up some other internal organs, your liver, your lungs, and your stomach. I will do a whole separate video about how the stomach works and the different food types and all that. As I've mentioned in the past, your lungs, that's where your oxygen meter is going to come up once it's no longer full. It's full right now, so I won't show the meter, but that will drain as you're either underwater or as you have a breathing style toggled on. And your liver will have a bar if it's not full. That will show how much more poison damage you can absorb. So by leveling up your other skill, you can absorb more dot damage with your liver. And that's pretty much it for that one. If you click on stamina here, this kind of pops up the most stuff. This is your karma meter. I talked about that a bit in the prayer videos, so I won't go super in depth on that right now, but it basically just shows your good to evil alignment. This is the ritual icon here that will show up to 3 ritual cards. This is a separate system from knowledge because you don't have to memorize them. They're just in the form of cards. And pick these up. And the rituals have a long cast time, and I'll do a whole separate video about ritual mechanics and the different cards. That kind of just leaves these two, I believe, which are skills and spells. So your skills, you level up by using the particular weapon. So these are sword skills. I level this up by killing things with a sword. That can be deer, silkworms, slimes, anything but fairies. And these spells are leveled up by catching the correct element fairy. So this is a fire spell, so if I catch 5 fire fairies, this will be leveled up. And once you level them up, either by killing things with a weapon in the case of skills, or by catching fairies in the case of the spells, you can then choose a skill or a spell. And now I can consume stamina in order to use the sword skill. You can see the negative stamina spawning up here. And that's a negative stamina. And by consuming mana, I can cast this spell, and you can see this is negative mana here. Now, you're not going to, under normal circumstances, be able to go very negative in your mana cost or your stamina cost, although certain things might allow you to get away with that. And if I drink some health potions here, you can see this is what it looks like as I extend my HP bar. Every heart is 4 HP. So I think that pretty much covers it. That should be all of the UI I wanted to go over in this video. If I missed anything, I'll do that in the future video. Oh, these are coordinates here. But that's, you know, pretty self-explanatory, I think. Just tells you like what dimension you're in, and then your east, west, and north, south coordinates. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good day.